What is going on, folks? It's actually Amoongus, and you already know what this layout means. We are back for Season 3 of the PWD, the Atlanta Sobbles, here again. This week, we got a kind of different take on the video. We took out a lot of the loading screen, stuff like that, make it a quicker video. So I kind of got to talk about game plan and all of those kind of things kind of quicker this time. So before we get into all that, my opponent in week 1, newcomer to the PWD, but I'm very excited to see how they perform. Coach Cryptic in the Minnesota Lycanroc. Check them out. The link will be in the description. I think that this is a very promising coach and team. They've done previous draft battles before, so they're not a total newcomer. But like I said, to get straight into the action, coming into this battle, he didn't bring some of the Pokemon that I thought that he was going to bring. I was anticipating maybe the Rhydon that he drafted to come. Or possibly the Lycanroc as well. The Lycanroc was definitely a big threat in scrims against me. So I also thought that with the bulkiness of his team that one of those Pokemon that could set up Stealth Rocks would be a good lead, but that ended up not being the case. So I kind of played a little bit thrown off from the beginning, not knowing what he would lead. I decided to lead Galvantula just because of the fact that I could get a quick Volt Switch off, and he ended up taking the advantage from the very first play by getting the lead matchup right, putting his Volt Absorb Jolteon out and forcing me to play around that. Now from there, I made my biggest misplay of the game, which in two parts, in scrims and practices leading up to this match, I had an Assault Vest Nidoqueen, which I changed up last minute. That was a mistake on my part, because the biggest thing that Nidoqueen was providing for the team is both a balance of offense and defense. It was able to soak up hits from a lot of the threats on my opponent's team, as well as deal out decent damage. I would have took a lot less from that Shadow Ball and possibly not had to put it in the harm's way of the Earthquake, or even just sack something else. But instead, we end up losing Nidoqueen and going out to Jinx. Jinx will clean up and finish up the Hitmontop, but unfortunately, because of the position I put myself in, I don't have the proper switch in with the Assault Vest Nidoqueen to come in on this. So I'm forced to make some more disadvantageous plays. It's a difficult word to say. I take a big Volt Switch. I allow him to bring out his Venusaur almost for free. And like I said, it started when I allowed one of my key pieces of my team to be put in danger and therefore also killed. But it really comes to show where I went wrong in this match at this point in the match, when he's going to G-Max his Venusaur here. I'm going to get some damage off with Blastoise, but there's really no time for Shell Smashing. It ruined one of my other main offensive threats by just not having the team members to back it all up and throw everything together like it's supposed to be. So we go back out into Jinx. My opponent lives an Ice Beam and thaws out first turn. I would definitely like to throw out, so RNG went my opponent's way. Like, that freeze could have been huge, game-changing freeze for me. But it's Pokemon, you can't control those factors. I would like to point out that there are multiple instances in the rest of this battle where my opponent just barely lives attacks. Now, one of these instances I'll point out when we get to it, comes on a pretty low health Pokemon. But when you see kills that should be guaranteed 2-hit kills, being attacks being lived, and should be 1-hit kills, attacks being lived. You know that your opponent prepared very well for the battle. And maybe it's not always the case. Maybe not every coach tweaks, fine-tunes their EVs. But when you see it happen multiple times in the course of a battle, you can assume that your opponent put a lot of work into their draft match that week. And with that assumption, I got to give mad props to Coach Cryptic for bringing his best game to the PWD. It's exciting to have you. Once again with the Aegislash plays, trying to stay on topic and not ramble. This is a shortened video. This was supposed to be my finisher. This was in scrims. I said, if Aegislash isn't the last Pokemon to die, there's a good chance I will lose. And the reason I sent it out earlier on in the match when I did is because it was truly the best opportunity to get a setup on it and start getting some speed boosts off. I was pretty sure I would need more than one speed boost in order to outspeed the Jolteon, which, as I know, is carrying Shadow Ball. So that's kind of my mindset in that. But the Melodic is going to end up living a hit. Maybe my opponent had prepared more for Galvantula than that. But like I said, things like that happening multiple times in a draft battle just goes to show evidence of just slight EV tweakings that make for really great preparation. And your opponent keeping in mind the fact that you play at level 50, not 100. Just taking all these things into account is huge, and they do matter. That's another wasted turn of burn, in which turn my Aegislash is actually going to end up going down. I could have got really big damage on something else before it did. Instead, we go down to just having Galvantula and Slurpuff. So the Galvantula is actually scarfed, so I could get the 2-hit KO here. But unfortunately, the combination of Galvantula and Slurpuff is not enough to be able to defeat his team because I don't have any damage on the dual blade. So with that being said, it's going to come out, and if I did have some damage on it, maybe I could have just went for the attack, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that he would have lived the max attack play rough, and either way I had really no other move to go for but the belly drum. We're not going to live the Iron Head that comes across in return. And the Atlanta Sobble are actually going to go from the first seed in the league last season to a 0-1 start this season. But I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to bounce back. Week 2 we play against the New York Noctowl and Coach Neway. So be on the lookout for that. This video is coming out pretty late, so this will be coming up soon. Once again, shout out to Coach Cryptic on a well-played and well-prepared match. Check out his channel below. And that's it for me, guys. Be on the lookout for more content, and peace.